Hello friends, my name is Katie from Eternal Flame, and today I thought I'd share with you a very relaxed plan with me in my A5 size Take a Note. So if you're interested in seeing how I'd like to set up my Take a Note first, which is actually my private everyday planner, before I set up my Hobonichi Weeks weekly spreads, please stick around. Thanks everyone. Before I get right into this video, I did want to take a quick moment to thank you all so very much for taking the time to join me today. As always, I very much appreciate your engagement, so if you have any questions or any suggestions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. So before we get right into it, I did want to show you all my Hobonichi Weeks weekly spreads and how I like to basically plan every week. So the first thing I'm going to do is share with you all my very private planner, which is this one here, this little date book by Midori that I picked up at Jet Pens in 2022 in preparation for 2023. What I love about this is that it's very simply, and I'm just going to show you some of the months that I haven't populated yet. Very simply, it's just a monthly spread with Monday start. So what I like to do is actually take my alphabet stamps, sometimes from Archer and Olive. I also have a set that I picked up off Amazon that I really adore. This is so affordable. Definitely check it out in my Amazon storefront. I'll leave that in the description box down below if you're interested. And you can pick different types of fonts. This is the one that I got. The only, I guess, complaint, it's not really a complaint, suggestion that I have is when you're picking I think you can pick the different types of stains. This one's a very dark stain, which I love, but it's very hard to see the letters. Okay, so that's the stamps, and that's one of the first things I like to do. The very first thing I did was create like this very faint pencil marking here, and then wrote the months to replace the Japanese characters, and then I just stamped Monday through Sunday here. And then, so this is what I take with me everywhere to track my doctor's appointments, dates, anything that I need to keep track of in here. Sometimes I'll throw in, I think in the front, yes, in the front I have my nail salon and my hairstylist, their phone numbers, because for example, the hairstylist I only go to maybe once or twice a year, so I don't have that memorized, so I just have that in any type of business cards and things. So I keep track of everything here. What I'm going to do is actually open it to the current week and place it on the side, so it's not publicly available. Surprisingly, I only have one thing, I guess one appointment this week for now, which is great. And then I just want to show you, so I take that, I populate typically my A5 size Take a Note. If I don't have time, I skip this step and just go straight into this in my Hobonichi Weeks. So after I'm done with that, then I move into my Hobonichi Weeks, and then when I film my plan with me's, I am ready to go. So let's really get started. I think I'm already pretty far in. Sorry for the chattiness today. All right, so one of my favorite pens that you've probably seen me use way too many times in the last year or two is this Tombow hard tip brush pen that I got off Amazon. I loved it so much that I bought over 20 of them, like a set of over 20 of them. I love it. They do take some time to set, so they're pretty inky, but once they set, they're good to go, both on the Tomoe River paper, and I guess this is also Tomoe River paper. I really love this planner, and I have it in the complimentary cover here to my Hobonichi Weeks. I don't know if you guys, it's been a while since I showed it next to each other. I just love the natural nature tones, I guess, and super soft feel of it. I bought them from the same, I guess, creator on Etsy. It's Sakura Handcraft. So the first thing I like to do is take the hard tip pen, Fude pen, and create 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dots to track my daily tasks here, my most important ones, so you can kind of see. I'm going to give you a close-up, and I'm going to do that all the way across. I apologize for the fly. I have been plagued with these tiny little fruit flies. They're actually my plants. So I do this all the way across. This is my first year with the Take a Note. I will absolutely be using a Take a Note again next year. I don't know if I'm going to use this size or get the B6 Slim or something. So that's what I do. If you're not familiar with the Take a Note, the setup, it's actually 1 week in advance here on the left. So you can see that Monday start all the way to Sunday. And then it breaks the vertical hourly breakdown into 3 separate pages, I guess. So you have Monday and then a Sunday here. So I like to do half of the week first because the second, because I don't want to smudge and smear. So I'm just going to let that set. Over here, what I like to do is keep track of my major appointments. So since I only have one, I will show you on the 9th, I have a barbecue at work. So really excited about that. Using the same pen, I'm just gonna write. Summer barbecue. And I also like to use this to track leave. So let's say I take annual leave or something, sick leave, I can write that here. Typically in this column. The other thing I like to do is track the days I'm in the office. I like to minimize the amount of stickers that I use in this planner. I know it sounds insane, but in this case, I actually don't like to use stickers. So, all right. I like to keep it simple. Sometimes if I have overflow, I hope I didn't expose anything private. But what I like to use is my Rayme ruler here to create like a straight edge across the days. And a relatively straight line in highlighting the days I'll be in the office. Alrighty, and that's basically all I have. I do want to give you an example of how I use this space down below. So for example, for the summer barbecue, I'm not going to do it, but I'll tell you what I typically like to do. So if I have the summer barbecue and it's scheduled for a certain time, which it is, it's around lunchtime. And I do want to point out that, I don't know if you can, I think you can see it. I can see it on the screen here, where the lunchtime 12 to 1 is actually blocked off in gray, which I absolutely love because I actually like to use that as headers. So for example, because the summer barbecue will be at that time, I would write summer barbecue here. Sometimes I'll create dots here to mark exactly when it starts and finishes and things like that. I'm not going to do that here. What I like to do instead, sometimes I like to use this space up here to create a priority task list for the week. So for example, if I have to pay property taxes or something, I'm making things up right now, my electrical bill, I can do that here. And so I think I will do that this week. I will take my Hobonichi Basic and I will find a pen. Let's see, I have so many different things that I can use. I can use a pencil or a pen. I like my Unijet Stream. Today I'm going to use this Muji pencil. And I'm going to be careful not to smudge this because I don't think it's quite set yet. And I'll just set this guy up here and try to make it relatively straight, lining it up with the grid and only drawing in what I think will fit well, which in this case this week I think is about 5. And this is how I'll keep track of my priority tasks. The other things I like to do is to take this space here when I don't have appointments to track, and I like to create headers in this lunch section for example, if that week I'm preparing to throw a party on the weekend, I like to clean my house, and to keep track of the specific tasks that I need to get done as part of that overall goal, I'll create a list and say cleaning list, or I'm trying to think what else. Sometimes I have a bunch of tasks that I want to get done related to gardening, and I'll do that here as well. The other thing I want to show you is, well, I have all my pens that I love to play with. One of my favorite ones to use in this planner is my Klena .3 that I picked up off Amazon. You can definitely check out that storefront if you're interested. And what I do starting at 6 o'clock, is to do BLD to track breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And that's what I'll do here all the way across the board. And I actually also have this really cute monthly planner that I got at Go Wild that I like to use to kind of, I guess because I'm past the midpoint of this planner, it helps to make it more level and easy to write. So BLD. All right, so I do want to take a look at some of the tasks I want to get done. I do want to play around with my new carousel pen, my Ferris wheel press pen. I guess this is a good opportunity to do a shout out. If you're interested in checking out some of the Ferris wheel press items and a 10% off code for your next order, it is KATIE, and I will leave it linked in the description box down below. I'm loving it because this month is, I think it's Poison Envy. instead of poison ivy, which is pretty clever. But this is my third Ferris wheel press pen, so I do want to test it out. I will do that here. And so one thing that I've been talking about a lot is our house hunt. And I think what I'm going to try to do is track the houses that we're going to go see. Sorry. So on the side here, I'm actually testing it out and getting the ink flowing. And I'm going to just create that header that I was talking about. So I believe this is a fine nib, which I've been absolutely loving because the other ones that I had were mediums, so that's been fun. If you can see, I don't know if you can see, it's like a purple color. It's Poison Envy that I absolutely love. And I like to play around also with my Z Clean Color dot markers. So I'm going to put the color here. I think I'm going to use this Platinum, also from Amazon. One of my favorite purchases, I think. And I'm going to go right ahead and try to line this up with the grid and create maybe 5 to just keep track of some of the houses that we're interested in. I also have a spreadsheet on Excel to keep track of the houses that we made offers on and things like that, and how much it ended up selling for. And so over here, I do want to keep track of certain things. So one of the things is going to be actually Ferris wheel press. So let's write that down. And so I'll keep track of that here. Another alternative I like to use is to use that Tombow Fude pen and just create dots going down. 2, 3, 4. Okay. To leave space for that. Let's see what else. And oh my goodness, this is the first time I get to see the sheen and shimmer. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm going to bring it nice and close so you can see it for yourselves. I have yet to have experienced that, so really excited. Alrighty, and so I keep it very simple. There's really not much more to it. I do have a wedding today, so I'm going to add that to my calendar for the previous week. Once I let this set, I'll flip it over and show you guys how I set this part up. I'll do the same thing here. And sometimes things will just come to mind, or I feel like doing a bit of journaling instead of developing a task list of sorts, and I can do that here. Sometimes what I really used to try to do when I had more time is use this space to doodle, because it's my safe place. It's a private journal, so I don't have to worry about judgment. I also had the opportunity, I apologize for throwing my arm in there, to play around with some of my DIY planner stickers. I had intended to post these on the internet and like sell them to share with you all and or provide as giveaways on my YouTube videos, and I just hadn't had a chance to. But before I was going to do that, I was making these little sheets, which, believe it or not, were really, really stressful for me. But anyways, before I would do that, I would just play around with them here and then use them as a tester for stickers. So for example, I wish to post a video on Monday, and so I could mark that with this little DIY YouTube icon. Anyways, friends, I hope you enjoyed this quick plan with me in my A5 size take a note for 2023. If you did, please feel free to give it a thumbs up, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye, friends.